How do I deal with arguments with him? Or what if he's shouting at me? This is such a great topic, and this is how you learn your emotional integrity. So when you are dealing with the angry male, it is normal for the feminine being to shut down, because in evolutionary times, it's explained that when a man got angry, someone was going to get hurt or someone was going to get killed. This is why it's so important for men to have grounded masculinity in order to keep polarity strong. Because as I always use the analogy that men need to be more like the stump of the oak tree, and women are like the leaves on top of the oak tree, swaying to the wind and to the weather. But masculinity is that root, that rock, that firmness. But obviously, with the extreme feminization of our men, it's just not always going to work out like that. But there is still a way that you can remain feminine even in this kind of situation. So this is something I touched a bit on the other night on my TikTok live, but there is reacting, and then there is conversing. So reacting is just primitive. It's the monkey part of us. It's that part of us that doesn't actually come back down to the conscious mind and listen and able to communicate effectively. It's just that programmed, primitive part of us that just wants to react to something that has hurt us. So I can assure you that deciding not to react to things with that instinctual part of you and deciding to rather listen is going to be the most valuable skill that you could ever cultivate in your life. I mean, seriously, the number one compliments that I receive is that I never get angry about anything. I'm just so cool, calm, and collected and composed all the time because I have this sense of emotional groundedness where nothing really affects me. So this is what you need to master. And so that might mean that you actually make the conscious decision to choose not to engage in fights, in heated arguments, but rather, especially if you are communicating with the male brain, that you just give a blank face of displeasement. You just kind of let them have their moment. And if he says something that like hurt your feelings, you can just wear that emotion on your face, kind of give them that sappy look, like wear that, because that reads very strongly to the male brain. But it is wiser than actually spewing words, because if you spew words in the moment, then it just kind of ends up escalating from there, and nothing usually ends up getting resolved. But if you just wear your emotions on your face without saying a single word, that is one of the most wisest things that you can do. The Bible says, whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. So it's not that I don't ever get triggered and frustrated and feel really emotional about something, but I choose very wisely of who gets to witness that, and I choose what things are worth that emotional energy and what things are not. So you must wear this energy that reads, I can't afford your negativity, so you can't even bring that negativity into my space. And with men especially, you don't want to punish them like a mother, but rather let him know how it makes you feel. So don't look at men in the eyes for too long with this angry, aggressive face, because you don't want to trigger his aggression and his competitive energy. So after something has escalated and it's all said and done, you can walk up to him on the side of him and get beside him. I never encourage women to be directly facing in front of a guy, like looking head on at him, because again, it will trigger a more man-to-man competitive response. But you can go up to the side of him, grab his upper arm and just kind of like lean on it and talk about how he made you feel really upset and sad in that moment when he was saying a lot of hateful things or things that really hurt your feelings. This is truly the more feminine approach to activate that provide and protect. Because tapping into your masculine energy is your more instinctual response, which can disrupt polarity. And I have no doubt that over time, if you are truly tapped in and tuned into your feelings about what is happening between you, then you will train him better to approach, heated and escalated arguments in a more gentle manner, so that way you don't freak out, feel unsafe, and shut down your femininity. Because we have to also take accountability and understand that if he is approaching us in that way, then there's something about our energy that he's reading masculine aggression and competition. And we women are actually more sensitive to threats than men are, because the part of our brain, which is the amygdala, that can detect threats is actually more easily activated in us. So sometimes they don't see the danger in what they're saying, but you do, because your brain is more easily detecting that. And it makes sense from an evolutionary perspective because we have to be more weary in order to protect our young. Okay, so master your nurturing female traits, even in those tougher situations, even though sometimes it can be extremely difficult to maintain your composure, and you will see such a positive impact on you and everyone around you. I can tell you that no one comes at me with pettiness because I don't attract that, and I can't even afford that kind of negativity. And I hope that helps you in your feminine approach to feminine communication.